Hello there and welcome to another Elite FPL video with myself, Steve. I'm just basically going to go through some of the comments that myself and Jason received from either last night's stream or the members video. And yeah, just chat absolute nonsense. But this seemed to have got a bit of attention. Firetog's, well, wildcard team, his strategy, the way he's looking forward with the team selection, etc, 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 all thanks to Fantasy Football Hub and their scheduler. So Firetalk came on last night to talk about his team. If anybody can't see what's up on the screen, because I can barely see it myself, we've got Flecken in goal, Anana, Trippier, Estupinan, Chilwell, Guivardi, Romero, Martinelli, Saka, and Mbeumo, Sterling, Foden, Jackson and Haaland. Now, I will say this immediately, as I said last night, the team is identical to mine. It is identical. The only difference is that he's got Mbeumo, I've got Rashford, and obviously the odd goalkeeper pick and defensive pick where in Firetog's, quite rightly so, reasoning, he's gone down the route of they're going to be rotated with X, Y and Z fixtures and so on and so forth. And all I keep thinking about is Firetog, you're just better off playing Sky Fantasy, because I've just done some crappy little video on my own personal channel, and I've just gone through my own strategies about what I'm doing, and I was just making the point that the difference between Sky and FPL that I've noticed so far, after 2 game weeks, Sky just requires some planning. It does require some thought, but it's a proactive way of approaching fantasy football. Unfortunately, FPL isn't like that, unfortunately. It relies on reactiveness from managers, because the thing with Sky is that because you've got a limited amount of transfers, I think it's 50. Can't do any more than 50. So by game week 6 or 7, some people may well have already done 50 transfers already. They will not be able to do any more transfers. In FPL, you can do as many as you want. You can do a minus 50, you can do a minus 60, you can do a minus 12, you can do and so on and so forth. Doesn't matter. Just bring in whoever you want. If the fixtures look good, you'll get them in. If the player looks good, you'll get them in. Can't do that with Sky. And Firetog's planner is perfect, and I mean perfect for Sky. Because I've just spent 25-30 minutes going through on the Sky game. Right, then I need this player for that game, and then on that day I need to transfer this player, right, I need to do this, and then on that day he's got a captaincy. Shit, I don't have a captaincy for that day, so I need to bring in that player there for a captaincy. It just goes on and on and on and on. FPL, we don't need to do it. In fact, I think Triggerlip spoke about it on his little video he did, but really, FPL at the moment seems to be just going on a week-to-week basis. It just seems that way. And you can do planning in fantasy, in FPL. Of course you can. Anybody can. But the problem with FPL is that it just feels like the plans just go out the window. Like, I think the best made plan I've heard was from Alex Volo, who basically said, I'm not going to base my team on anything to do with pre-season. My opening 2-3 game weeks are going to be based on what I know from the season before. And then by game week 2/3, I'm going to have, within reason, enough data for me to understand this team's performing well, this player's performing well, that team's performing bad, this player's performing bad. And then can do a wild card, which he's done. And the wild card will represent the teams moving forward that he's happy to stick with. Whereas what Firetog has done has gone through, and again, there's nothing wrong with this, but an 8 to 10 game week planner of what he wants to do. And ironically, all he's done is just ended up with my team, which I just find head scratching from my own personal perspective, because without going over and over and over it, the fact that Firetog does all this research and looks into various other means to get a team, whereas I'm just a bloke that just goes, I think Everton are rubbish, I don't want to go near them. I think Wolves are rubbish, I don't want to go anywhere near them. Arsenal, oh yeah, they're very, very good from an attacking perspective, and I'd probably want a defender. Let's go with Gabriel. Now, admittedly, Gabriel doesn't start, blah, 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 we get the idea with that, but it's the right strategy. Man United, oh, they got some really good fixtures, but what's that? Oh God, they were terrible against Wolves. What's that? Against Tottenham, yeah, they created a few chances and stuff, but they just seem to be lacking confidence in front of goal. I'm backing off. I'm stepping away from them. But they've got 2 nice fixtures in 4 with Wolves at home, where there's pretty much a very high chance of a clean sheet, and then Nottingham Forest at home, where there's a decent chance of a clean sheet. So I'll happily stick, from a defensive point of view, with Onana as a simple example, and I'll just hold on to Rashford. I don't need to make an emergency transfer with Rashford. And this is from my own personal perspective. Whereas with the likes of, the sourish shite that I got rid of in Gabriel, he doesn't play for Arsenal anymore, right? Get him gone. Just get him gone. I don't want to be losing value, and I want to bring in a player that at least is in form. So bring them in. Bring in a player that's got the fixtures. Well, in this specific case, it's a Kanji. That's a prime example. And then in midfield, we had Eze. Again, looked fantastic whenever he had the ball against Arsenal. He looked great. Problem is, the 3 or 4 players ahead of him, if there were any players ahead of him, couldn't hit a barn door even if they were literally with their nose stood next to it. No chance. So get him gone. And then, obviously, with Fernandes, okay, there are people out there that are saying, don't get rid of Fernandes for Nottingham Forest. I'm willing to take the risk that Fernandes doesn't get a double-digit haul. If he gets a double-digit haul, egg on me, fine. I just don't think he will. I think he'll get an attacking return, but as I predicted, what, you think it's going to be 3-4-5-6-0? No. It's going to be 1-0, 2-0, 2-1. At a push, and this is at a push, Man United may score 3 goals. May do. They're lacking a lot of confidence in front of goal. And I'm just thinking they're just going to get through this game, and they're wanting to just get through to the international break and just reset everything. Just get this first 4 games out the way and get into that international break where they can just, like I said, they can just reset and... Brilliant. My computer's crashed. It's brilliant, isn't it? All I want to do is see some shitty fixtures. Yeah, reset and start again regarding their plan moving forward, whatever that may be. Because for me, jumping off Rashford is going to be, for me, by game week, yeah, for the Arsenal fixture, he's going to be gone for Arsenal probably. And then they got Brighton. It's just 2 horrible fixtures, and then they're into the that's actually after the international break. So just go into Arsenal, whatever happens into that game, and then it's just for Man United a reset, and then they can come back where they've got Brighton, Burnley, Crystal Palace, Brentford, Sheffield United. By which point they may have sorted out the striking situation. I don't know. But yeah, and then of course up front, Ollie Watkins. Again, I reiterate this point. I really have seen nothing from Ollie Watkins to be like, oh my God, I need to have him in my team. Again, in my opinion, he was virtually anonymous in the game versus Everton. 4 goals. He got a penalty assist. That's it. The most threatening players that I fought in that game were Diaby, Daly, Digne, McGinn, Diaz. Essentially anybody but Watkins. Yeah, Watkins ran around a bit, but didn't do anything to inspire me any confidence, and I'd rather just attack, like FireTalk is doing, attack these Chelsea fixtures, and like many of us are doing, attack the Chelsea fixtures, attack the Man City fixtures, because they're excellent. They're really, really good. So yeah, I think, look, FireTalk can do whatever the fuck he wants. I can give a shit. I find it, again, very, very interesting listening to the guy talking his way through the data about what he's wanting to do with this spreadsheet. Is fascinating, but it's just not for me. I'd rather just base it on my own personal opinions. And the problem with me is that I just stubbornly go against the popular the popular player picks. Like, it's almost like, oh, everybody's going Mbeumo, everybody's going Matoma. Now I'm just going to go Eze. And we see how that's backfired. But just quickly, oh yeah, that reminds me again. So for any members listening in, me and Jason did a cull yesterday, and we got rid of this amount of people. If I put it up on screen now, I'm sure someone's going to pause it, but you won't even be able to read my writing. But we culled that many people. It's about 25 members we got rid of last night. We reinstated 2, and there's already somebody else that's been reinstated. But if you are a member and you've want to go to the Members League and you've seen that your name's been removed, you need to come back to us and tell us what your YouTube name is. It's quite simple. What is your YouTube name that you use as a membership ID? So then we can put that to your team ID, or more specifically, your team name that we've got on FPL. Because there are names that me and Jason don't have a clue who you are, and then we find out. In fact, I'll give you a perfect example. So Jay Gutterman. Does anybody know who Jay Gutterman is? Anybody? No. Of course you don't. Nor do I. Then I found out who it was today, and it's, oh, okay. I'll send Jason the message. We'll reinstall you or reinstate you. Done. But I know for a fact there are some people here are definitely not members anymore. 100%. And remember, to participate in the Members League, these individuals need to have been there since game week 1. So, and we know for fact, again, that there's a lot of people here that either A, have just automatically been put in the Members League, and me and Jason hasn't removed them. Or 2, they've just signed up for the membership for a day and they've just gone, I'm going to go to the Members League, and then they just cancelled their membership. That's all they've done. We know that. So, yeah, if you've seen your name removed, please go to the Members League, and then literally, as I said, just go and message me on Discord and tell me what your name is, and then tell me what your YouTube name is, and that's it. Done. But yeah, so here's a few comments on the members video I did yesterday. The reason they don't want anyone to sell this, in fact, I'm not going to read that because I don't know what that's actually referring to. Sorry, Wolfie. Paulie saying, Blonde is one of the most intellectual people I've spoken to when it comes to FPL. Her opinions and insight combined with other stuff amaze me. Love how she asks questions, listens to people's suggestions, and also goes away to do her own extra research, to which move is right one for her and her team. Would love her to go onto the show to chat to you both, and I've said it a billion times, I've never ever understood why the people that go on Hangouts don't join us on Discord. It makes no sense. I genuinely don't understand it. Well, actually, I take that back. I do get it, because there are certain individuals that get embarrassed coming onto as Steve Merchant says, or Ricky Gervais says on XFM, a small tin pot YouTube channel. I can understand if these people are speaking to maybe thousands of people. You're speaking to about 20 people that care. Trust me, I'd rather get no disrespect or anything, I'd rather get the intellectual people coming on than, like I said, okay, then you ask them another question. Yeah, I don't want to talk to you anymore, see you later. End of discussion. Whereas someone like FireTalk or Ray Qureshi, as an example, it's they just click their fingers, but they just talk. So we happily give them the stage, fuck me, the platform to share their views and opinions. Bruce saying he's missed the impressions. Yeah, I did a few impressions yesterday of certain individuals. And yes, Tottenham will click eventually. Lo Celso will be playing instead of Maddison this week. So watch out for Lo Celso. Paddy Corby saying, I had Gusto and Chilwell starting until the history on Luton scoring versus Chelsea might have to start Estupiñán instead of Gusto. That's a tough one. I personally would probably just, to hell with it, go with Gusto, just attack the fixture. But again, if you want to follow the Estupiñán wagon of potentially thinking that he's going to be getting attacking returns in every single game, jump on him, but that West Ham game is going to be horrible. I don't expect him to be getting anything out of that game whatsoever. But what the fuck do I know? Nothing is the simple answer. Here we go. Just a quick one about AI. John Davidson saying, the problem with AI is that it relies on someone to program the machines to interpret the data. If they don't know what the various stats imply, it will produce rubbish. If the data isn't up to date, the results will be unreliable. Most important thing is they cannot predict the human factor. Is the player out of favour with the manager? Is the team system working? Look at Man United. All the past data in the world can't explain their poor play. Yeah, that is precisely it. Then we got FPL Bailey here, attacking Firetog, saying that spreadsheet from Firetog will be redundant by game week 6 when injuries, form, suspensions, and whoever knows what happens. I think Firetog eloquently explained what he's doing with that. We'll have to end up making a transfer far from what he initially planned. Again, he's got the price points in place there for him to be able to do so. Set by the spreadsheet, which will derail all the upcoming transfers. Again, he already explained it. Anytime I see someone who has plans from 5 game weeks ahead, I just laugh because FPL/football is very volatile. True. Example, Son could play up top game week 3 and score a hat-trick, then Firetop will be scratching his head on trying to get Son. Well, I'm pretty sure that Firetop will have the funds to then swap, I don't know, Martinelli out for Son as a simple example, just as a simple example or whatever. But look, at the end of the day, Firetop came on. At least he had the bollocks to come on, is what I'll say. Like I say, me and Jason invite people on to discuss their issues, problems, etc., but people are reluctant to come on. And they're more than happy to write comments about others and slag people off and all this bollocks, but they're not willing to come on and talk to the individuals themselves. As I put out a tweet last night, there are some individuals that have literally gone through the last 6-7 videos and have uploaded comments slagging me off, basically saying you talk absolute shit. Yeah, and don't watch. You know, some guy I've just seen on my Total Stevo one said about the videos that you're uploading, that the drivers have done nothing wrong whatsoever. You're just a shit driver. Well, actually, if you watch the video, which unfortunately, again, I reiterate this point, no one that's watching this is intaking any of the information I'm saying. They're just staring and they're not really listening to anything because they're probably doing anything but actually watching. They're just probably on their phone or doing anything but. They've just got this on in the background. But with the driving ones, it's, well, if you actually read the description and if you actually listen out for the commentary that I'm actually saying, I'm explaining why this individual is being an idiot. But again, these people don't understand this. Whereas when you actually have, you know, like a real life conversation with someone and you talk to them about, in my specific case, when I'm at work, I talk about London traffic or things that frustrate me or whatever, you then have the individual that comes back and go, yeah, I get exactly the same with this, this and this. I see it all the time with this, this and this. Like I was talking to one of my colleagues yesterday about going to one of the Crown Courts and what it's like to drive down there, the parking, etc., etc. We had a perfectly open conversation. Whereas if this individual uploaded it up to YouTube, the parking situation, some muppet will go, it's not your fault. It's just that you're a shit driver. Again, these people don't say it to your face. They never say it to your face. Like with FPL Bailey here. I don't know. I don't have a clue if FPL Bailey speaks to Fire Talk in the Hangouts. I don't have a clue. Let me know in the comments below. But the reality of the situation is that, you know, Bailey, talk to Fire Talk. You just wrote a 50-page document essay on the issue that you have with Fire Talk spreadsheet. Why don't the both of you come on to the channel? In fact, this is an open invitation. Both you and Fire Talk come on and have a discussion about it. Me and Jason will just be the mediators. I couldn't care less. So I reiterate this point. This is what this channel's about. It's about you. Yes, of course, me and Jason can talk shit about whatever, about our teams and stuff, but there's only so far we can go. Whereas when we invite the callers on, the guests on, etc., it's, right then, talk to us. Now, admittedly, we've got a 5-minute time limit and stuff that we've decided to do, but that's because of the amount of callers that we're getting on and we need to get through. But, you know, we do make exceptions. And, you know, I reiterate this point. The individuals that, and by the way, again, I make this point very, very clear. This isn't just fantasy football. This applies to anything in the world of online commenting, where anybody can just say anything you want. Doesn't matter, but you're just a profile at the end of the day. You're just a profile. It's the reality of the situation. You don't know me, I don't know you. So you can pretty much say whatever you want. Doesn't matter. But once you ban these people, they start crying. Like these absolute losers last night in Discord. I'll be completely blunt with you. I said some very aggressive things to Jason. Very, very, very aggressive things to Jason about these individuals. Just ban them. Get them gone. Fucking needs these fucking losers. If they're causing problems, ban. And then they go into another Discord channel. These people ban me. Yeah, I wonder why that is. Because you're acting like a 14-year-old boy in a school playground. It's embarrassing. For fucking look in the mirror. Have you seen what you're writing? Just piss off. You're not welcome. Like I said, then they're the ones that start crying about it. Oh, they banned me. I've done it before in the live streams. You'll get some muppets slagging me off, saying some not particularly pleasant things. Ban. And then they message me on Twitter. Why did you ban me? I really like your stuff. You pretty much just called me a cunt. I ain't fucking having that. Ban. Never see him again. It's embarrassing. We had it the other day actually on the live stream. Some muppet that comes in on a regular basis. Ban. Or more specifically, time them out. Then they come back. Oh, why did Steve-O time me out for? What's his problem? Well, the fact that you've just wrote a relatively, not too bad where I have to ban you, but you've just wrote some absolute fucking shite in the chat to the point of where it's like, it's not needed. Time out. Think about what you're saying. It's quite simple, really. And again, this is what I just see. There's just a major social issue in society, full stop. No one talks anymore. But I could be here all day talking about that crap. And again, I reiterate this point. If Bailey and Fire Talk want to come live on air, let us know to talk about this. Or if you don't want to, talk to each other in the Hangouts. It's quite simple, but I'm pretty certain that Fire Talk pretty much explained everything in the stream last night when he came live on air to talk about his plan, his team and everything. Don't get me wrong, if it fucks up, great for me. Brilliant for me. I think Fire Talk goes ahead of me because I've obviously taken this -8, which in turn means that I think, depending on how far ahead of him I am, he will automatically go ahead of me. And like I said, this stupid laptop is crashing. Yeah, so Fire Talk is now ahead of me, and he's technically blocked me off, ironically. So Firetog is actually now ahead of me. The same as Dread, the same as Brew, and that's within the moderator league. I've given them 12 points. But I have no idea what Brew or Dread have done. Have they wildcarded? Have they taken hits? What players? You get the idea. It just goes on and on. But Firetog right now, ironically, has got exactly the same team as me and has now completely blocked me off, and he's got certain other individuals that are slightly different to me, whereas Rotation Planner comes through. Whereas for me, I've already kind of stated that I really want to go into the international break with 2 free transfers. I'm going to try and hold my nerve and just go, look, in game week 4, you will have the individuals in the likes of the Chelsea boys at home to Nottingham Forest. You've got the Man City boys against Fulham. So you don't need to get rid of them. Now that's 6 players you don't need to get rid of. So who are the other 5? Well, you've got Saka, Martinelli at home to Man United. So that goes up to, 7, 8 players. So you've still got 3 players left, which is Onana. Well, I'll be playing him. You've then got Estupinan at home to Newcastle. Or you've got or potentially Matty Cash away at Liverpool, so it's going to be Estupinan. And then you've got Rashford away at Arsenal. I think I can just about hold, which means I'll have 2 free transfers going into the international break. At that point, I can then reassess and go, right, do I need to hit the wild card? Or can I sort this out with 2 free transfers / a -4? Can it be done? Is what I'll be looking at. So I'm going to try and be headstrong with those decisions moving forward with my team. Whereas, ironically, with going on FPL Bailey's point of view, with Firetog's team as an example, the strategy's there to plan it all out. And it's not necessarily locked, but it's kind of like, well, it's there in front of you. You kind of need to follow it to see if this strategy works, but yeah. Other than that, like I said, so Jason's not streaming tomorrow, and it's unlikely he's going to be streaming with me tomorrow evening. So tomorrow evening, so Saturday, I'll be streaming at 8 o'clock for the usual Stevo reaction. Sunday, you got Sunday surgery with Jason. It's very, 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 very unlikely. But there's about a 0.1% chance I may stream on Sunday evening regarding what happens on Sunday, but it's unlikely. So potentially maybe on Monday. Who knows? But certainly there's a lot of content, as ever, coming from myself and Jason throughout the next few days. Cheers all. See you later.